think we're live now, a little late. Welcome back to Crunch Time, guys. This is the show where you get the best slate overview, all the best DFS picks for the day in under 1 hour, hour and a half. It's 2.5 hours before every main slate, so welcome back to those joining again. Chris, how are you doing today? I think you're muted again.
I'm doing pretty good. That mute thing always gets me at the start, but yeah, I'm excited for this slate. We have some NFL going on right now, so if I'm looking up, that's why. Also watching this Sixers game. They have like 8 guys out, only 7 guys playing today, so my team is doing pretty well right now. I have a lot of Maxi. He's absolutely crushing it. Yes, but I'm excited for this. I think it's like 11 games or 7 games actually. Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I'm a little late, I'll be honest, so I haven't had time to check, but yeah, I think it's, what do we have?
It's 7.
7? Yeah, 7 game, 14 teams. Yeah, the chat's rolling already. People, Ross likes the polka music. I think Hasty says it's addictive. What else do we have? Music? Yeah. Gossify says he won yesterday.
I always hear you humming the music. We gotta talk about that. We gotta give the people a link to it or something.
The humming?
Yep.
Yeah, I always do hum it. I don't have my laptop today, so I'm gonna look at my phone for YouTube chat. Gossify, how much did you win yesterday? That's good to hear. Let's see what else we have. His core was Levert, Anthony, Tatum, Tyson, Brown. What do you think of that one, Chris?
Yeah, that's solid. Yeah, definitely a good core there. It was pretty similar to ours yesterday. I think we can get into some review and then we can go over that.
Yeah, housekeeping review. Before we get into that, if you guys are joining again, you've been here before, be sure to like the video. That helps us out a lot. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button so you stay notified. That's some good housekeeping there. Next up, another solid night for the Crunchers. You can always see some good results. We post them on our Twitter at DFS Crunch. It's also in the bio, their description of this video. I guess we can go over some of those. This was you, Chris. How does it feel?
I mean, it feels normal.
Feels normal.
Yeah, so this is my cash team up top. In the Discord, a little before lock, I was saying that Giannis is fitting into my favorite builds. Yeah. So that was a little different. I think the 3v3 between this team and our optimal was Smart. Let's see. Yeah, Smart, Giannis, Clark versus I think it was Cole Anthony, Randall, and Siakam. The other team put up 337, so it still cashed as well. But obviously mine put up 348, so that's nice. Yeah, and then the second is just single game, pretty standard. I think that was the optimal. So yeah,
you'd love to see it. Next up, we have Turn and Burn, one of our old-time, long-time crunchers. Solid member there. Shout out to Turn and Burn. What do you think? What do you make of this one, Chris? How do you think it feels?
I mean, it's not about how it feels. It's just another day in the office for Turn and Burn. He always crushes GPP lineups, cash lineup as well right there. So that's nice. I just want to touch on Justin Swearigan in the chat. He's saying Tatum Brown core loses all the money. They actually performed really well yesterday. They both got there, and he's saying that Tatum and Brown in the same lineup as core is so bad. It's actually not in cash games, which is what the core is for. You get the floor in the nuts matchup, and like price is good, so everything's good there. Obviously, GPP is not optimal. I think I had Brown as my GPP lock of the day yesterday, and I had Tatum as my fade. So, I mean, you're right about that. But when we talk about core, it's always cash games.
Yep. Yeah, you're right about that. It's a good comment there from you, Chris. Yeah, Turn and Burn part-time DFS. So part-time, but full-time results. Good results. What else do we have in the chat? Van Fleet Powell. Clement's asking, what contest do you play, Chris?
So I play single entry stuff. I play 50-50s, head-to-heads, double ups, triple ups, some quints. 3-man leagues, 5-man leagues, 10-man. Like I play all the cash games, then some smaller field GPPs.
Yep. Good stuff. Solid stuff. You wanted to go over some contests, right?
Yeah. Billy Kid says, "Love you guys. Love you too, Billy Kid."
Shout out to Billy Kid. You said first switch the day, right? Chris? Yeah.
Yeah. So we can just go over the winners, the GPP winners yesterday. See how that goes.
Oh, also,
see how that went.
We're going to be using a secret preview version of the Crunch tool today. As always, we use dfscrunch.com, our optimizer, our projections to go through the show and go through the slate. But today we're going to be using a early sneak peek version that has a few changes. I think yesterday we pushed out some fixes for late swap, so late swap should work a bit better. We're still working on late swap, making it even better, even easier. That should be done probably like next week, like fully done, super easy to use. But right now, I think it should work for everyone. So if you have any questions about it today, if there's any late swap news, just hit us up in the Discord and I'll walk you through it. It's pretty straightforward, but I'm pretty excited. I tried it out yesterday. It worked really well. Jammed in some Raptors guys for me. There was some other news. I think the Laker news, AD out, jammed in some Lakers. So it was really solid. When it works well, it's really useful. It gives you a good advantage. Yeah, let's go over the contests. Ooh, do we not have them here? I think I might have to go to the actual site for this one. Any questions, comments, Chris, in the chat that you see as I load this up?
No, just gonna go over this the winners yesterday. Gonna take a look at how my teams are doing right now for this early slate. Let's see.
Yep. I guess while this is loading, whoever's in chat, let us know what you're up to today. What you're drinking on this Saturday. Coffee, water, G0. That's what I've got. That's good stuff. Okay, which one, Chris? The clutch shot?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Vitamin Nick's smoothies all day, whatever that is from Hasty. Sounds like something he would get at the teacher's cafeteria.
This what you're drinking question is like a popular one on YouTube. I know people love doing that on the live streams. Got some
Peach
lemonade
soju
over here.
from Thomas.
Got some soju from Thomas. Some hot soju.
Billy the Kid is drinking Hennessy. Might have Jarrah Smith in the chat here.
It's always good to know people are drinking. See, it's a solid question, Chris.
Yeah, Justin says, do you guys have Fanduel content or just DK? We go over both. We have content for both. Projections for both. Everything is identical for both sites.
Yep. Both sides.
It's not. The projections aren't identical. Like they're weighted towards the different like stat.
The scoring is different on both sides, so they're weighted differently for Draftkings and Fanduel.
Yeah, but
we also have
everything for both sides.
Okay, Chris, let's get into it. Come on, chop. What do you see here?
Yeah, so this is the winner, 406, second place, 405. So this guy just barely edged him out. Steph Curry at 6%. Obviously, Steph always has that upside. They both had Steph, and he went off. He went for 64. So that was a pretty good tournament play right there. Second guy had LaMelo, 12%. First guy had Tyus Jones. Tyus Jones obviously performed better at 3%, so that was good for him. Let's see. Yeah, so this guy had Raptors, which was interesting with the news. Everyone around the like 10 to 20% range in this team, other than Schroeder, Jones, and Steph. So you just need a few lone guys, and then you can play the chalk like Siakam, Powell, LeVert. Obviously, Clark was popping as well. Then this guy had different roster construction with Vucevic at center, opposed to Tice, which was the chalk. Obviously, he's 34% in this contest. But yeah, pretty nice build here for whoever won this. Do you have any thoughts on it, Gary?
I have a comment on it. So I used the late swap feature that I brought up today. I think Clement's asking if we're going to show him how to use the late swap today. I can go over it quickly. I don't have a late swap file yet for today's slate because I didn't play the all day, but I could just walk you through how to use it over the show after we go through the...
Clement is actually asking how to download his file to Fanduel. So, I mean, we could do that at the end of the show after we go through the games. I think he just wants to know how you download it and then export it to Fanduel in the CSV, and then how you upload it. So we can do that after we go through the games.
Yeah, definitely can do that. The only thing, like, I can only show my Firefox window. That's how I have the streaming set up, but I could just walk through over, like, what I do with the CSV files, where to get them on Fanduel. But yeah, one thing I wanted to say for this one, with the late swap feature, we got the Lowry news. It was before the slate started, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I didn't have that many Raptors before the slate started, just how my build worked out, but after I used the late swap feature, I actually jammed in like a few more Raptors than I originally had in there. And then also, I think I got a lot of Dennis Schroeder as well, because he was a good pick. A bit of Kuzma, obviously, because we had the AD news, our projections updated. So the late swap does really help you get like an increased... is it fair to say it's an increased floor, Chris?
Not necessarily, but it's definitely an edge over the field if they're not doing it. Like, ideally, you would want to late swap your entries like before every game locks, just to update the projections. But obviously, that's not really realistic, especially if you have like stacking groups, stuff like that. But yeah, it's always good to late swap. In my cash games, I always run teams before every game locks just to see if there's anything better. If I'm behind in contests, I try to switch to lower owned guys. If I'm ahead, try to keep the chalk guys just to block the field. Yeah, but definitely useful to late swap. If you're not late swapping, you definitely should learn how to.
Yeah, one thing I'll say...
Or ask some questions.
Yeah, one thing I'll say here, I'm surprised there's no Chris Boucher like in the winning lineup. I guess people just didn't have... Like, do you think the optimal has Boucher?
Yeah, for sure.
That's the one thing I'm surprised. I'm honestly like disappointed in myself for not getting Boucher, because like I'm a Raptors guy. I'm also a Boucher guy. Like he's an absolute monster. Like he goes out there and he can get like 4 blocks in like 2 minutes. Like he's so lanky. He loves to chuck like his threes. So he just produces like a lot of fantasy points per minute when he's out there. What, Chris?
The thing with him, he was probably like 0.5% owned. So if 0.5% of teams had him, it's hard for them to have the rest of the team like perform super well for them to win.
Different construction. 2021 year of the Crunchers from Hasty. I agree. We're gonna have some big takedowns this year. I feel it coming. I don't know about you, Chris. What do you think?
We've already had a few.
This year?
Haven't we? No? Was that last year?
I don't know. We had some last year.
Well, I mean, NBA season. I go by the seasons. I don't really go by the calendar years.
Okay. You don't go by the calendar years. Favorite play today from Gostafi is Luka. What do you think of that, Chris?
I mean, he's on our cover. That's all you need to know.
Slim Duck is great. I'll hustle. Agree. Okay, let's go over DraftKings then, yeah?
Yeah, let's get to this quickly, and then we can go over the slate.
Okay. This is the right contests by prize pool. You just want to do GPPs today?
Yeah, just the $20 entry fee one.
Okay. Here it is.
Yeah, so this team, you got Chris Boucher here. This guy, I think it's pretty safe to say he got probably a little lucky. He has like 5 guys under 8%. With Clarkson, Mitchell, Boucher, Lopez, and Levine. But obviously they all did well. I'm surprised he actually got there with Clarkson and Mitchell paired together. I would assume that usually they sort of eat into each other's production, but this guy obviously got there with 40 from Clarkson, 52 from Mitchell. Levert, obviously the chalk. Powell the chalk. Siakam was a pretty popular play as well, put up 51. Yeah, so this guy got there with some low-owned guys crushing for him.
Yep. Nothing new to Chris. Take down City.
I mean, that's how we got to do it.
Yep. And then another, I think Hasty likes this name for you, nickname, Cash Money Chris. Any thoughts on changing your Twitter handle?
No, I'm good. I got to go with my handle on both sites.
Okay.
Just chrissair.
All right. Everyone loves T. Ross, but Clarkson is more consistent from Hasty. I'll load up the slate, and you can. What do you think of that one, Chris?
T. Ross burned some people yesterday. So they had like a bunch of guys out. T. Ross was in a good spot, and he just burned people. I think he had like 8 fantasy points. Obviously, they lost by like 40, so that didn't help. But yeah, pretty disappointing for people who rostered him.
Okay. Let me load up the first game. Get through this slate. Get some core plays out there. Get some DFS picks. First game we have Phoenix against Indiana. Let me just load that up here. Both sites. Let me load up the starters. A bit behind today. Later start, but it's all good. Okay. Phoenix side, we have Jalen Smith, Cameron Payne out for them. Let me do the starters. Starters for Phoenix, we have Chris Paul, Booker, Bridges, Crowder, and Ayton. What do you think of Phoenix today, Chris?
So, I mean, same thing. Like, I sound like a broken record here. Every time we talk about Phoenix, they're a 3-headed monster with Booker, Ayton, and Paul. When they're all in, I have no interest in any of them, especially in cash games. They're all priced fairly. They distribute the ball. Just it's not something I like to target here. Only a 106 implied team total for them. No one stands out for me in DFS. One guy, maybe Chris Paul on Fanduel point guard. I don't mind that. But yeah, nothing really here. It's the lowest total on the slate. I have no reason to go here in cash games. Tournaments, you just don't know who it's going to be between the 3 of them. So I don't love it. Oh. Okay.
Next up we have what do we have here? Indiana. My bad. Injuries there. We have Gogo Bedadits. You don't want to mention him. And McDermott questionable. Starters, we have Brogdon, Holiday, Victor Oladipo, Sabonis, Turner. Oladipo's actually been quite solid this year. Like, he's been close to hitting value, I think, almost every slate, like around that 5x range. He looks really good. Like, I'm quite happy to see that. What do you think of Indiana today?
So, I mean, like, we just have so many better plays in other games that we'll talk about later. So Indiana, just like Phoenix, they spread the ball around. One guy that I do have some interest in would be Sabonis. He's been playing heavy minutes. He always seems to get there, always puts up 40 at least. Really good assist rate, obviously rebounds well, double-double machine, so I don't mind him in tournaments. Brogdon, he's been playing well. Some people will probably chase the game log. The minutes have been pretty high for him, so that's nice. I'm not sure if that will stay that way. Miles Turner, he always seems to put up like 5 real-life points, but somehow gets 7 blocks like per game. So I don't think that's sustainable. So I don't love him, but just like Phoenix, these guys are only tournament options for me. You'll get them low-owned if you like anyone here, but no one I really have interest in.
Okay. Gostafi saying you follow me on Twitter. Yeah, we like to follow people on Twitter. That's our thing.
Yep.
Yeah, so shout out to you for coming here from Twitter. It's a good place to be. Charlie saying only player I had from the Philly game was Maxey. What are some safer picks for the later games to secure money? I guess we'll go over that today, right? That's what we'll be going over.
Is that Fanduel, Draftkings, cash, tournaments? Just need some more info.
More info, yep. Charlie let us know. Hasty saying Sabonis is going to dance on Ayton. I think, yeah, what do you think of that, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, I touched on Sabonis, so yeah, I like Sabonis, but just I don't love this game. We have better people to target elsewhere in cash. Yep. If you want to play them in tournaments, I don't mind that, as I said.
Confirmation from Charlie, it's for FanDuel. We still don't know cash or GPP. Let's just say cash.
So, I mean, you want to jam in these Mavs guys, Luka, Johnson, guys like that. I'm not sure if you'll actually be able to hold, just because if Maxi is your only guy, like Tony Bradley is crushing right now. I think some other guys are doing well also, so I'm not sure if it's not like you automatically cashed. Maxi was pretty high owned. But yeah, just if you keep following and watching like our plays here today, you'll get a few options. I also like Chetty. I think he's a lock. John Collins, guys like that. We'll mention them as we go on throughout the show. And guys that I say are cash viable, I think those are guys that you can fit around Maxi.
Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't have Chetty as the cover boy today. He's always a popular topic here. Okay, next up we have Atlanta at Charlotte. We can go over Atlanta first. Injuries there: Rondo out, Kongwu out, Bruno Fernando, big piece there, not really, out, and Gallinari, that's a bigger piece, out. Fernando's probable. Snell is back in for them. Starters, we have Young, Reddish, Hunter, Collins, Capella. I think Trey looked really passive last game for them. What was up with that? Was he getting locked down by LaMelo?
He didn't shoot many shots. He definitely wasn't getting locked down by LaMelo, but he only shot 9 times. His season average is around 20, so that was pretty low. He just didn't look aggressive. He didn't look right. You'll get games like that, down games sometimes. I'm not worried about it. I'll go right back to Trae Young in tournaments. I really like him. His price tag looks good, so I'm a fan of Trae. 9.4 on both sides. Don't mind that. If you want to use him in cash games as more of a last piece, but I like him a lot in tournaments. He'll probably go a little under-owned, so that's a good play. Let's see. Yeah, so the rest of the guys that I'm interested here are only on Fanduel. They're priced a little better. The 2 guys are John Collins and Clint Capella. So John Collins is 6.8K. Really good price tag here. We project him for 36.5 right now, so I like that on Fanduel a lot. On Draftkings, he's 7.5, so that's too expensive for me. We just have better plays elsewhere. And then on Fanduel as well, Clint Capella, he's 6.5K. Sort of fits the build at center. Helps you jam in some other guys. Seems like a sort of mid-range build today. So yeah, I like Clint Capella at 6.5. I think that's a really fair price tag for him.
Yep. Hasty, I think he's got an in on the Atlanta locker room. He's saying Trae was on drugs last game. He looked asleep. Billy follows up saying it was just a bad game. Yeah, it was a really bad game. Okay, let's go over Charlotte. I think there's no new injury news there that I have here. Starters, we have Graham, Rozier, Hayward, Washington, Biyombo. I know Thomas in the chat loves Hayward right now. He's going crazy about him. What do you think of his price tag? Is it fair? Are you interested at all in Hayward?
Not really. He's fine. He provides you a pretty good floor around 40. He's 8K, so it's right around what he should be giving you at that price tag. So he doesn't really stand out for me. I don't hate him as a last piece, but not someone I think we want to jam in today. We have someone who we'll talk about later, Jimmy Butler. He's 8.1K, so only 100 more. Going up against the Wizards, obviously that's a really good matchup. So I like Jimmy a lot more than Hayward straight up on Fanduel. I don't know. You could take some shots on LaMelo. He's looked good. I think he has some upside. More of a tournament play for me. No one really stands out for me here in cash games. Maybe Devontae Graham, 5.2 on Fanduel. I don't mind that. And then PJ Washington over on DraftKings. If you want to use him as a last piece in cash games, don't mind that either.
Yeah. Thomas is saying you said that last time about Hayward and that you're sleeping on him. And then Hasty's one of his nice picks again. He said Hayward is nice at 8K. 120 million things to prove.
I like that 120 million things to prove. Yeah, but about Hayward, I mean, I said the same thing about him last time. He's 8K. He went out and got you 40, I think. So nothing crazy. He did as expected.
Yeah. Okay, next up we have the Heat against the Wizards. This game projected to shoot out, Chris?
It's the 3rd highest total on the slate, but it looks like a pretty nice game.
Okay, let's go over the Heat first. We have Harkless and Vincent probable for them. Starters, we have Butler, who you brought up earlier, Hero, Robinson, Kelly O, Canada, and Bam Adebayo. Before you get into this, the one I've been using this throughout the show, but this is the feature that we've been working on. It's the historic player data here. So we'll push that out probably later tonight after the slate starts, just to make sure everything's working for the slate. But it's also a work in progress, but it just gives you like a good overview on how the player has done recently. So it's something that we'll be working on a lot more as time passes, but it's a good place to kind of look at and see like the previous salaries. We do have some issues with like the data. Sometimes the salaries aren't correct yet, but we'll fix that. Like once it's done, like you'll have the Fanduel salary, Draftkings salary, their Fanduel actual points, and then like the points per 1K, their value on both sides. So definitely a useful feature to look at. Helps you do your homework. Always do your homework here at DFS Crunch. There's a lot of homework we give out here, so do your homework. Look at the game logs.
Gary, one thing before you go on, I sent you a screenshot on Discord. If you could open that, that would be good. We got to show Turn and Burn some more love here. In the showdown slate, once you get it up, we can go over it quickly.
Yeah, we got the low quality production here at DFS Crunch again. The studio budget is suffering. Chris spent it all in the hats, so
this is the showdown slate from earlier today. Obviously the Bills versus Colts. Just awesome stuff here. He went $10 to $221 in this first lineup here.
If you can make it
just
out.
Solid stuff. Solid construction here. Just want to give a shout out to Turn and Burn.
Yeah, part-time DFS, part-time cruncher, full-time results. So love to see that.
And that's live. That just came in hot off the press.
Hot off the press.
There.
Hot off the crunch press. Great, need that. Beal was on fire last night from Hasty. What do you think of that?
Yeah, so are we talking about the Wizards now? Did we go over the injuries?
You went over the Heat? What you like there?
No, not yet. We can go over the Wizards first since Hasty answered asked that question.
Oh wait, I read the Heat injuries and starters. Let me just do the Wizards. Westbrook just questionable. Starters, we have Nato, Beal, Denny, Avdia, Hachimura, and Thomas Bryant. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so with the Wizards here, we have to wait on Russell Westbrook. It's obviously the second half of back-to-back. I expected him to rest, but they're like 1-7 right now, so maybe they'll push him on the back end of a back-to-back just to try and get some wins. Usually he's ruled out earlier. Today he was listed as questionable on the injury report, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. We'll probably get it in 30 minutes when the next injury report comes out, so we'll go over that for sure. But if he's out, Bradley Beal is probably a lock for me on both sites, both formats. Just he always smashes when Westbrook's out. Always smashed when John Wall was out before, so same sort of thing. We'll have interest in guys like Ish, guys like Neto, but it's hard to predict now just because he's still questionable. If he's in, I like him in tournaments, not in cash games today, but I think he'll go under-owned as well, so I do like him in tournaments. And then one other guy I want to mention specific to DraftKings is Rui Hachimura. He's 4.5K. Finally saw big minutes last game yesterday, played 37. So that's up from the around 24 that he's been seeing. So I like that price tag a lot.
That's nice.
Yeah, so I like that price tag a lot for him over on DraftKings. He's more on FanDuel, so no interest for me there, but I like him at power forward on DraftKings in cash games.
Yep. Yeah, as Chris said, you can click on a player once we release this tonight. I think you'll be able to see all that. As you can see, there's some issues still, but I think it's still useful to push out, even though it's work in progress. But yeah, you can see the minutes there, definitely bumped up, and cool feature for sure. Ready to jump into the next one, Chris? Cleveland, Milwaukee.
Yeah. We can go over Miami. I didn't actually go over Miami.
Oh yeah. Go for it, because I already went. Do you want me to redo the starters?
Yes, please.
Okay, I have to load them back up. Injuries in Miami. Who do we have? Harkless and Vincent probable for them. Starters: Butler, Hero, Robinson, Kelly, O Canada, and Bam Adebayo. There you go.
Yeah, so this Heat team has a really high total. It's 119 today for their implied team total. So we do have interest in these guys, especially in cash games. Jimmy Butler just seems like a lock to me. 8.1K on Fanduel, that fits at small forward, and then 7.4 on Draftkings. He's point guard and small forward eligible, so that's just way too cheap. He's a lock for me on Draftkings. And then on Fanduel, he's near a lock. I have him in my lineup right now, so I like that a lot. And then one other guy that I'll mention here is Tyler Hero. His price tag on Fanduel is a lot better than Draftkings. He's 5.4K compared to 6.4 or 6.6, I believe, on Draftkings. So
Yep.
I like him on Fanduel. If you want to use him as the last piece in cash games, I don't mind that. I like him in tournaments too, just because they get the really good matchup here against the Wizards. So yeah, Tyler Hero is good. Bam. Bam's going to go really low owned today, just because we have other guys at the center position who we want to target. So I really like Bam a lot in tournaments. He actually might be my tournament lock of the day. We'll have to wait and see for that at the end of the show.
Yeah, don't give it out yet.
Yeah, but outside of that, Kelly O, he's priced up. No interest there. Duncan Robinson in tournaments maybe, but I don't think so. Not for me today.
Okay. Let me load up the next one. Are there any chat comments you see, Chris?
Hasty says Kelly O will be nice against Bryant.
What do you think?
I think he's a little too expensive now.
Yeah.
So I don't really have interest. I don't see a ceiling for him at this price tag. I mean, obviously it's a good matchup, so could be a ceiling, but I don't know. I don't think we need it today.
Okay. Next up, we have Cleveland against Milwaukee. Over there on the Cleveland side, we have Kevin Porter out, Garland out, Windler out, Sexton questionable, Delvedova still out. Starters for them, we have Dotson, Okoro, Chetty Osman, Larry Nance Jr., and Andre Drummond. Any interest in Cleveland at all? Cash, GPP?
Before I go over Cleveland, I just want to these guys are going crazy on the Sixers right now. Maxey has 52, Tyrese Maxey, Dakota Mathias. I don't know him. I actually wanted to ask if Hasty knows him. Seems like a player Hasty would like.
Does he play basketball the right way?
I don't know, but he's probably he was probably good in college. He looks like he had a good college career.
He was coached,
Tony
right?
Bradley. I have Tony Bradley. He has 31 right now, so that's nice. But yeah.
So your all-day slate's looking good? Is what you're trying to say?
Yeah, I think we'll have a screenshot. We'll have a screenshot for this single game slate soon after it ends, probably. Most likely, don't want to jinx it, but yeah. And then we got a comment here from Billy Brisbane, Butler or Hayward today. I'm Hayward all the way, both formats, both sites. I would go Butler there. Wait, did I say I'm Hayward all the way?
Yep.
Or did I say I'm Butler all the way?
You said Hayward.
I'm Butler all the way. Yeah, whatever. I mean, whatever I said, I'm Butler all the way, both sites, both formats. I like Butler. Mike Weaver says, on an NFL note, Wofford just got knocked out of the game. Goff in. That's kind of surprising. So we had Goff not starting because of the thumb, and now he's in because Wofford got knocked out of the game. I wonder how that went.
Do you have them?
And then,
any of them?
No, I actually have the Buccaneers defense, so I kind of like that Wofford was in. But we'll see how Goff does. And Mike says, leave my Sixers alone. I mean, they're doing well for me now, so I'm definitely a fan of your Sixers for the day. Billy Kidd says, yeah, wow, 52 points. Yeah, Maxey is going ham.
You're not sweating the single game on the Sixers one or NFL right now? You're pretty good. Chilling there?
Yeah, for now I am. NFL, I'm sweating a bit, but I'm not watching the game right now, but hopefully it goes well. Janice says crunch grind or time. Yeah, crunch. This is crunch time.
Fat thumbs. Crunch time right fat here. Thumbs there.
Okay, so Cleveland, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you want to go over the starters again?
Yeah. Okay. Today we're going to repeat starters 2 times. Cleveland, we have Dotson, Okoro, Nance Jr., Chetty Osman, and Drummond. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, so the big thing here is Sexton. He didn't go through shoot-around. Do we have him out yet? Or I don't think we know yet, but he didn't go through shoot-around. We currently project him to play, but I don't think he plays. I think in the starters you said he's
questionable.
Out.
Yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see on that. But regardless, I have a lot of interest in Chetty over on Fanduel. He's 5.4K, really fits the build at small forward. He's popping up a lot for me. I have him in my current lineup, so I like that price tag a lot. He's too expensive for me on DraftKings, 6.2K. It's a hard matchup. It's a little bit of an overspend, so I don't have interest on DraftKings. This game has an 11.5 spread, so it's the biggest of the slate, obviously favoring the Bucks. So if you're into the whole blowout thing, you have some risk there. But I think Chetty is pretty safe in a blowout regardless.
Yeah.
I think they all are. Like, they were getting blown out by the Magic, and they had all their guys in, like, down 25 with 3 minutes left in the fourth. So I think they're pretty safe. What'd you say?
Chetty's definitely gifted. He's a freak. Like, they'll want him out there to match up against the Greek freak today. So, Trigger is here right on cue. He wasn't here before. I was getting concerned because it was a Chetty day, and as soon as we brought up Chetty, he's right there in the chat. He also says lock in Hassan Whiteside on DK. What do you think of that one, Chris?
It's a revenge game here against the Trailblazers. Obviously, he hasn't been seeing minutes, but I mean, he could see minutes in this revenge game. I don't hate it. He'll get the easy matchup against Cantor, most likely against the second unit, so I don't hate it. But yeah, one other guy I want to mention on the Cavs here is Andre Drummond. He's locked for me over on DK. He's 8.7K. Just way too cheap for the amount that he does. If Sexton is out, that boosts him up. And then Larry Nance as well. I want to touch on him. He's 6.9K over on FanDuel, and then 6.9 as well on DraftKings. So I don't mind that as a last piece. I played him last time when Sexton was out. He got me there with steals. I think he had 3. He shot perfect from the field. I don't expect that again, but I think he's a pretty safe play in cash games, Larry Nance.
Yeah, Thomas is really over. Like, he's on top of your. He's got his selective hearing on. Like, when you messed up the Butler versus Hayward, he loves that. He said you heard it here, Hayward. So I think he's gonna lock in Hayward. Again, the old Chetty would shut down Giannis from Trigger.
Yeah, I mean, this is the new Chetty. This is the improved version. So yeah, this is where I'm getting him.
Clement is asking. He doesn't have the blue bar by the player name to see the player log. Yeah, so we'll be releasing that later today. I'm just using like a early version of DFS Crunch right now, just to show it off here. But it's a little incomplete right now. Like, there's some issues we have with salaries. Like, we don't have the right salary. Sometimes we might have the salary from like a showdown slate. But we'll be pushing this out later tonight, so you guys can have that. Try it, even though it's work in progress. I think there's still good value, good features here for you guys to benefit from, even though we're still working on it. But yeah, it's not out yet, but we'll push that out tonight, I think. So just, you got to wait on it. I just wanted to show it off today.
Hasty says Tony Bradley is solid. Don't love him, but he can rebound. Yeah, he's doing really well for me right now. He has 9 points, 14 rebounds. So yeah, obviously he can rebound. I like him a lot. I actually had him over Dwight today, which was a little different, but yeah, I like Tony Bradley a lot. He always seems to get there for me whenever he's projected to play like 24 minutes.
Yep. Let's go over Milwaukee. Milwaukee side, we have Pat Connaughton questionable, Torrey Craig out for them, and Giannis probable. Starters, we have Holiday, Dante DiVincenzo, Chris Middleton, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Brook Lopez. Any interest in paying up for Giannis today, or any of the other Bucks?
Not too much interest here. Giannis had a pretty hard fall yesterday, so I'm a little concerned about that. Maybe they'll limit him, especially if it blows out. I don't think we see a huge Giannis game here. No one else here I really want to talk about. I think they're all priced fairly. Like Bobby Portis, we always mention him whenever they're favored by a lot. He can get there in garbage time. Yeah, no one else that I want to talk about.
Is Maxey still going ham?
Yeah, he has 59 right now. So he has 39 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds, 2 steals, or 7 rebounds now, 2 steals and 2 turnovers. So
are they winning?
He got to this. No, they're losing by 12 with 9 seconds left.
Wow.
Billy says we're seeing that international turkey Chetty just chucking. Yeah, that's the international Chetty, international team Chetty.
Trigger with the best tool in the game. That's Hasty's line. Now Trigger's on it. I like that. It is the best tool in the game. It's only getting better, so definitely a good place to be if you're into DFS. Okay, next up we can go over the Spurs versus the Minnesota game. Let's see if I have it here. Yep, okay. San Antonio side, we have Weatherspoon out for them and Eubanks out for them. Starters right now, we have Murray, Walker, DeRozan, Johnson, Aldridge. What do you think of the Spurs today, Chris?
So we have some interest in the Spurs here. Really good matchup against the Timberwolves. Obviously, the Timberwolves are awful defensively. They play fast. They allow easy buckets. They get blocked. They turn the ball over, so lots of steals. So a lot of stuff here. DeJounte Murray is the main guy on FanDuel for me. He's 7.1K. That's nearly a lock in cash games. Obviously, Derek White is out, so that helps DeJounte's minutes. So I like him a lot in FanDuel. DeMar DeRozan, don't mind him in tournaments on FanDuel, but I think he's a much better play on DraftKings. He's 7.8K. That price tag stands out to me, so I like DeMar, especially probably more of a tournament play here. But yeah, I have interest in DeMar at 7.8 on DraftKings. DeJounte Murray as well on DraftKings, 6.9K. I like that price tag a lot. He can get you a triple-double. He can get you a bunch of steals and blocks. So he definitely has a ceiling there. And then Lonnie Walker as well. I want to touch on him. He's 4.3K on DraftKings. Don't mind that as the last piece. I don't think he's going to smash a slate for you, but he's pretty solid. So I don't mind that in cash games as a last piece. And then last guy, LMA, LaMarcus Aldridge. He finally had a pretty decent game last time out against the Lakers. Put up 18 shots, 28 real-life points, 40 fantasy points. So his price is pretty good, 6.3K on DraftKings. That stands out to me. 6.4 on FanDuel is okay, but I think we probably have better plays. So he's probably tournament only for me, but I think he could have like a pretty good game at lower ownership today.
Yeah. Trigger is saying Tool is winning me money in Denver Philly single game. What do you think of that, Chris? Part-time cruncher, full-time results.
Yeah, I think the game just ended, so I can get this screenshot out there. Maybe you can go over some housekeeping before we jump over to the Timberwolves side.
Yeah, I'm excited for the Wolves side, actually. Trigger, you got to get into the Discord. I don't know if you got the email. If you haven't got the email, I sent you a message on Discord, private message, but you just paste your code and then you get premium Discord access. So it'd be nice to have you there. Be fun. Are you sending it to me, Chris, or should I just go? I think you have to send me.
No, while I post it, you should just go over the housekeeping stuff a little bit.
Oh, housekeeping. That kind of housekeeping. Got it. Okay. So as always, we use dfscrunch.com to go over the slates. That's our in-house optimizer, projections, DFS community on Discord. We have every main sport, both sites, FanDuel, DraftKings, top projections for ownership, top projections for fantasy points, lots of stuff there. Check it out, dfscrunch.com. There's a 3-day free trial, $25 a week, $75 a month. Lots of value there. Part-time DFS, full-time results, so good place to be. Also, YouTube housekeeping. Be sure to like the video. Just hit the like button. That helps us out a lot to grow the channel. Also, subscribe so you can come back here, hit the bell button so you get notified. I think you also have to hit all after you hit the bell button, so it's an important YouTube algorithm. You got to do it. Helps us out a lot as well, actually, and also keeps you up to date with when we're live. Do the core. Yeah, we'll do the core after we go over the slate. We just go over all the games first, kind of give you like a big overview, and then we'll definitely do a cash core for both sites, and also we'll do
locks of the day. Yeah,
locks of the day, GPP play of the day, both sites, GPP fade of the day, and then what was the other one? Favorite play of the day?
Lock of the day.
Lock of the day. Yeah.
So I sent you the screenshots. So obviously we're going to do the core after we go through the games, as we always do. So probably another like 10-15 minutes until that. Charlie says, sorry if you've answered this, but thoughts on Giannis and Miles Turner. So I went over Giannis. I don't really love him today. He got hurt a little yesterday, so I think if it blows out, he's not going to see, like, they're going to try to limit his minutes, I'm assuming. Miles Turner, like, if you think he's going to get you 5 blocks and like 2 steals again, then I like him, but I don't think it's sustainable, so I'm not too high on Miles Turner.
Yeah, and it looks like our studio production budget went up a bit. Like, it's not as blurry this time, so that's good to know. We must have hit another subscriber throughout the show, so our budget went up a bit. You can actually read it, I think.
Yeah, so I didn't include the name here, but I think it's Paul. He's been with us for a while, so that's awesome to see. This was yesterday, this showdown slate, obviously. Van Vliet, Levine. Oh no, this is the late night slate. Sorry. So he stacked the Raptors game. Then it had a solid piece with Levine. Leonard gave him the snowflake, so that didn't help, but he still got first place anyways, so that's nice to see. And then my screenshot live off the press. Game just ended. I think this was the optimal actually. So Jokic, Maxey, Murray, Howard, Bradley. The big thing here that our projections were on were Maxey. We actually had him projected over Murray. Some other players had Murray in the second slot there, so having Maxey at 1.5x multiplier was nice. Just super sharp projections, so that worked out well. Definitely gave me an edge over the field there.
Yeah, having the sharpest projections in the game gives you a good edge, for sure. Charlie Cole is asking, is Luka a good option?
Yeah, I love Luka today. He's on the cover of our thumbnail. We'll go over him when we get to that game, but yeah, I love him on both sides. He's a lock for me on both sides.
Okay. Are there any more results coming in, or I guess we gotta wait for crunchers to post those? There's probably some more later on we'll get. Okay, we can go over Minnesota here. So Minnesota, Karl Anthony Towns questionable. I love to see that. That's great. That's awesome. Okogie's out for them, but yeah, Towns maybe back in today is huge. Hope to see him in. Starters, we have Russell, Beasley, Culliver, Hernan Gomez, Juancho, Hernan Gomez, one of Trigger's plays, and Towns. Is Towns playing?
Towns, he's questionable, so we'll have to wait and see on that. If he's in, don't have interest in him just because it's going to be his first game back. Pretty good matchup against the Spurs, though, but I guess in tournaments you can go there, take some shots on him. He's going to be probably like 1 to 2% owned, so I don't hate that. My main guy from Minnesota is Malik Beasley. I really like him for some reason. I liked him last game as well against the Blazers.
Oh,
he chucks the ball when it's a close game. Plays a ton of minutes when it's a close game, so. Yep. He's only 5.5K on Fanduel. That price tag stands out for me. I like him a lot in cash games. He's currently in my lineup on Fanduel, so that's the main guy. The rest of these guys are tournament only for me. Guys like D'Lo, he's looked good. Obviously, if Cat is back, that probably bumps D'Lo down a bit, but it'll help the game stay competitive. So that's a boost for D'Lo. Juancho, don't love him today. He's priced up a little, so. Yeah, Malik Beasley on Fanduel is my main interest here.
Oh, yeah. Before we go on to the next game, we just got word that Westbrook is out today.
Yeah, so we got Beal season, as Peter says. We got a comment from Brandon. It says, bifocal Chris, greater than non-glass Chris. So got to get the bifocals on. Got to actually wipe them first. Yeah, then I'll get that going for you.
Okay. Let me just.
We could, for the Westbrook news, we can go over it after we go over all the games. Just allow some time for the projections to update while we're on the show, and yeah, I think that'll be better.
Yep. Okay.
So we'll definitely circle back to the Wizards.
Okay. Brandon appreciates it. Yeah. Just wipe them clean first. I'll go over the slate while you do that, so you can see again.
Good to go now.
Okay. Good to go. We have Orlando against Dallas here. Let me load up the injuries there. Orlando side, we have Okiki, Fournier out for them. Cole Anthony probable. I didn't even know Al-Farouq Aminu was on Orlando. He's out for them. And Gordon is back in. Starters, we have Anthony, Bacon, Ennis, Gordon, Vucevic. What do you think of Orlando today?
So they're pretty hurt. They have Fournier, Fultz out, obviously, and MCW out. So Cole Anthony is in a decent spot here. Yesterday he was actually in my build like 15 minutes before lock, and then we got some really weird report from Orlando. It was like Cole Anthony, his body was hurting last game because he played 32 minutes, so they're gonna limit him a little. So that got me off of him, but it was really weird wording. Like they were saying his body was hurting. Yeah, so I don't think his body will feel too good here on the back end of a back-to-back. He's 4-8 on FanDuel. I don't mind that if you want to go there in tournaments. I think he has some upside if his body is feeling right, but if it's not, like, I just don't want to go there. We have better plays like Luka and DeJounte Murray.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Like, it's hard for me to say who's gonna go off here. I have a lot of interest in the Dallas side just because they have injuries. This Orlando side is pretty ugly. You can go back to T. Ross, but I don't know. He looked really bad last game yesterday. He only played 18 minutes. I think he was in a decent spot, but he's priced up. He's 6'4" over on DK. Don't love that price tag. 5'7" on FanDuel if you want to go there in tournaments. I don't mind that. And then Vucevic, always like to touch on him. He's never going to give you like a 25-point game, but he's most likely not going to give you a 60-point game either. Always seems to hover around 40, 45. So he's pretty good as the last piece in cash. Not someone that's landing in my lineups today, but I never mind it if you want to play Vooch.
Yep. Quick comments here from Trigger. He says DeRozan is in a smash spot on DraftKings, and then Clemens also asking, what about D'Angelo Russell?
Yeah, so DeRozan, smash spot DraftKings. Yeah, I agree with that. Obviously, really good matchup against the Timberwolves. Highest implied team total, maybe second highest actually. So yeah, I like DeRozan on DraftKings more than FanDuel. And then what about D'Lo? I like D'Lo too. If this game can stay competitive, D'Lo should have a big part of it. So yeah, I like D'Lo in tournaments on both sides.
Okay, let's go over Dallas. Dallas injuries here. We have Brunson, Finney-Smith, Richardson, Porzingis out for them. I think it's the COVID, right?
I'm not sure. Probably just because it's like a group of guys that all play a similar position, so they're probably in the same meetings. So yeah, I assume so.
Out with the COVID. It's hitting a lot of teams right now. We have Doncic, Burke, Hardaway Jr., Maxey, Kleber, and Cauley Stein starting for them, projected to start. What do you think of Dallas, Chris?
So Dallas is where we have most of our value today, just because we have Jay Rich out, Finney-Smith, Brunson, obviously KP. So yeah, I really have a lot of interest here in cash games on this Dallas side. I guess just to make it easier, we can go over FanDuel first. My favorite play is Luka. He's a lock for me in both formats. It's easy to get him with the value that we have today. So I like Luka a lot on FanDuel, both formats. James Johnson is next. He's 3.5K. I think he sees probably 26 minutes today without Finney-Smith in there, without Jay Rich in there. So that helps him. He's always been a really good fantasy point per minute guy. So if he does see like 26, maybe that's a little high. Maybe it'll be more around 22, but still, he always performs really well with steals and blocks, and he passes well. He's a high usage guy, usually like around 25%. So 3.5K, that price tag really builds helps glue together my FanDuel lineup. And then last guy here on FanDuel is Tim Hardaway. If you want to use him as the last piece, I don't mind it. He's 5.5K. We'll have to see if he's starting. I like guys like Chetty more, and then obviously I have Butler as a lock. So my main decision on FanDuel is Hardaway versus Chetty, but we'll have to see on that one. I lean Chetty right now, but maybe I'll switch to Hardaway if we get news he's starting. Yeah. But yeah, that does it for FanDuel. And then on DraftKings, I have even more interest in these guys. So Luka obviously lock for me, both formats. James Johnson, he's 3.2K here on DraftKings, so that's a lock for me as well. Trey Burke, 3K, no Brunson, no Jay Rich. Trey Burke should see at least 24 minutes, should get 10 plus shots, so 3K minimum price, way too cheap on DK. And then last guy, or two more guys, sorry, Willie Cauley-Stein at 4K. I don't mind that. I think he'll give you a decent floor. He's been playing pretty well the last two games. He started those two games, so He's been seeing around 24 minutes. Obviously, he put up like 32 in his first game and then 24 last game. That's nice. He can always get you there with blocks as well, so that provides him a pretty good floor. And then last guy I want to mention on DK is Maxi Kleba. He's 4.3K. Just same sort of thing. He's not going to hurt you. He's not going to like win a slate for you, but in cash games, that 4.3 price tag is looking pretty good.
Yep. Gostafi's asking for Trigger's core. Trigger's keeping it to himself as of now. Like, he didn't share it yesterday, so I think he's onto something. So he's keeping it to himself. I mean, I don't know if we'll get it today. Hope so.
No problems with that. Like,
yeah.
Definitely we don't want to force anyone to give out their plays if they don't want to. So, I mean, he's giving out some plays like DeRozan on DK. I like that a lot. So, yeah.
Yep. And then I think there's a question in the chat from Thomas. Do you want to read that out as I load up the next game, Chris?
Yeah, he says Bobby Portis or Bertans for cash on FanDuel as a last piece. Honestly, I would go with Bertans there with Westbrook out, but I'm not landing in that range in my lineups. I like jamming in James Johnson at 3.5K. Maybe if you go down to James Johnson, you'll be able to upgrade elsewhere. So try that out. See if you have any other questions for me after.
Okay. Okay, I think we can jump to the next one. We have Portland against Sacramento. Injuries on the Portland side, nothing that I see here. Starters, we have Lillard, McCollum, Jones Jr., Rocco, and Nurk. What do you think of Portland, Chris?
So Portland, they have the highest implied team total on the slate today, but they're not popping up for me in my builds. Just because we have underpriced guys elsewhere. We have studs like Luka we want to spend up on. So yeah, not too much interest here in cash games for me, but these guys are all elite in tournaments. Maybe they'll go a little under-owned, but this is the highest over-under on the slate, 237. I like Dame a lot. Rocco, 4.8K on FanDuel. I don't know, like he's looked pretty bad if you're looking at the game log. Obviously, he can always get there, but I don't know. I don't think it's for me today. Derek Jones Jr. last piece. If you want to go there, I don't mind that, but it's mainly Dame here in tournaments for me. I think he can. He obviously has the upside that can win you a slate. I think he went for like 66 last game.
Yep.
Didn't get full run. Only played 29 minutes. So, and obviously this is a really good matchup against the Kings. They're awful defensively. I think they allowed like 150 points to the Raptors yesterday. So, really good matchup for Dame. But he's not landing in my cash builds right now, but I do like him a lot in tournaments.
Yep. Yeah, about the game logs, we'll have that soon. As you guys can see here, like for Lillard, this wasn't his salary, but that might have been his salary for the showdown slate, I'm guessing. But we'll definitely fix that up so you'll have like the correct salary for the right slate, but you still get the right proper fantasy point production here, and the game log looks good. So, we'll push that out today. So hopefully, so good feature there. Okay, Sacramento side of things, we just have Jabari Parker out for them. You say that's irrelevant. I'll still read it out. We have Fox, Hield, Barnes, Bagley, and Holmes starting for them. What do you think of the Kings today?
So the main guy here is, I hate to say it, but it's Buddy Hield on FanDuel. He's 5.2K.
Are you going to say the thing you always say?
It's the highest total here. So he's just a FanDuel play for me. He's 5.2K, 6'8 on Draftkings. So that's a fade for me on DK, but the price tag really stands out on FanDuel in cash games, so I like that. Other guys, Fox, don't mind him as a last piece in cash games. If I'm playing him, I'm probably playing him in tournaments just because I like other point guards more. Tyrese Halliburton, he's looked really good. Like he's looked like a total stud. Definitely slipped too far in the draft. He definitely should have gone earlier. But yeah, he's looked really good. Had a really good game last time out. Really good game 2 games ago. So I'm a fan of Tyrese Halliburton in tournaments. I'm probably not ready to go there in cash games. Probably only if Fox was out. But yeah, I'm a fan of Halliburton in tournaments today.
Yeah, he looked quite solid against the Raptors. His shooting is really nice. Like it looks a little funny though, doesn't it? His form.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know.
It's kind of like a push
Shakes it. Yeah.
at the top, like, yeah. Just got some news about Giannis questionable for Saturday with the back. What do you make of that, Chris?
I mean, like I was talking about it. He got hurt yesterday, so now it's 2:30 now, so we're gonna get a bunch of news here. But yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see it. Questionable doesn't really help me. If he's out, we'll play guys like Drew, Middleton, guys like that. Maybe his bro Thanasis, but I don't know yet, honestly,
Thanasis.
just because he's still questionable.
Thanasis is like a foul machine. He's like one of the highest fouls per 36 minutes in the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, he's not out there for many minutes, so it's probably a pretty low sample size.
Just a goon.
We got news that Neto is starting for Westbrook. I think we can probably circle back to that now, since we're done with the games. Yeah?
Yeah, let's do some YouTube chat, though, first, while I load that up. Let's see, did you answer this one? Oh, yeah, that was Fade Rocco for life from Mike Weaver. What do you think of that one, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, his price is nice, but his game log is ugly, so I don't know. He's not necessary today, so I'm definitely fading him today. Not for life. Like, if he's minimum price, I'm playing Rocco 10 times out of 10.
Yep. Chetty all day for me from Clement. It's a good pick today, solid pick. Billy Brisbane saying, you guys seem cool. We should collab on a video one day for a special slate. Yeah, we could do something. If you just reach out to us, maybe hit us up on either Twitter or Discord. We can chat there after the show. Trigger's saying DeRozan, Beal, Butler, core DK. I guess that's his core on DraftKings. What do you make of that one, Chris? DeRozan, Beal, Butler,
and Trey Burke. Yeah, those are all really good plays. Probably similar to my core outside of DeRozan, but yeah, everyone looks good there.
All right. Halliburton, solid rookie, can do a bit of everything from Hasty. It's also saying where these boys are the future. What do you make of that one, Chris?
Who's that from?
Hasty.
Yeah, I mean, Hasty, he knows talent when he sees talent. I'll give him that. I want to give him some props for the Lonzo Ball thing. Me and Thomas in the chat, we were high on Lonzo before. Hasty was always shutting us down. Yeah, Hasty definitely won that argument 2 years later.
2 years down the road, he knew.
I mean, I'm happy to admit I was wrong, but I don't know. Lonzo, he's been disappointing.
We got from Trigger, made me laugh. He says Thanasis is an animal.
Yeah. He's definitely an animal.
He's gifted. He's a freak.
Yep.
Brandon saying Ross, T. Ross, I'm guessing. What do you think of that going?
Yeah.
Chris?
I know he loves T. Ross. T. Ross didn't do well for him yesterday. I guess, yeah, I don't mind T. Ross here. Better play on Fanduel, as I mentioned earlier. I think he's 5'7", so yeah, I like that in tournaments, but probably don't need it in cash games.
Yep. And then Thomas asking Buddy Hield or Devontae Graham for cash. They're both the same price.
Definitely Buddy Hield.
Okay. And then, yeah, Trigger saying LaMelo over Lonzo. Hasty says, Chris, you're too nice. Mike Weaver's wondering about our top GPP plays for FanDuel. We'll go over that now. We'll just do the cash core on both sites. I think Chris wants to touch upon the Washington news first with Westbrook out, so we'll do that, and then we'll get into the cash core on both sites, and then we'll do some GPP and more Q&A as it comes up. So what did you want to do here, Chris, on the Washington side?
Yeah, so who do we have starting there now, Gary?
It's obviously Beal. I think we had Neto. Neto, Beal, Danny Avdia, Hachimura, and Bryant.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see how our projections will update here with Beal. I think Beal's a lock now, so he's 10.1 on FanDuel. He's 9.7 on DraftKings. We had him as our cover boy earlier, but then I changed to Luka just because Westbrook was questionable. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Beal here.
Solid
Neto. Yeah, I don't think we need Neto today. I like guys like Trey Burke more for value. James Johnson at the util if you're deciding between the two.
But an interesting GPP play, I think.
No? I don't love it. I don't think he has much upside, to be honest. He's had some good games, but he's definitely not not a play for me.
Yep. Okay.
They also have Ish Smith there, who can eat up minutes at point guard, and Brad Beal's gonna have the ball in his hands a lot. So,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if Neto gets there, it's with like some steals, with assists probably, but he's not really a big scorer, especially with Beal playing.
Okay. Gostavy's saying do the lineup optimizer. We'll do the lineup optimizer. That's what we do. But we got to do some locks first. So, did you want to change the projections now, or are you just going to wait for them to update later on as that happens?
We could just bump up Beal to like 50. Well, it doesn't matter. He's a lock for me on both sites, so we can just start with him. Yeah. So obviously Russell Westbrook's out. So yeah, I like Beal a lot. Obviously, don't really need to touch on it too much. Like when Westbrook is out, you lock Beal in. It's the rule. Same thing with any two studs that are on the same team. If KD is out, you lock Kyrie. If LeBron is out, you lock Anthony Davis. Same thing here with Beal. So yeah, he's my first lock. One sec. Let me just rebuild this real quick, and then we can get into my next lock.
All right. Mike Weaver, top GPP plays. Top GPP plays for Fanduel. We'll do that again. I think I already brought that up. I might have read that one already. Hasty saying loved Caruso over Lonzo.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, next up we can go with Chetty Osman. 5.2K we expect, or 5.4K on FanDuel. We expect Sexton to be out, so I like Chetty a lot at small forward. And then I want to lock in two power forwards here. I think this is the obvious chalk duo at power forward. John Collins at 6'8". That price tag really stands out to me.
Then can you say again? I was reading the chat.
John Collins, 6.8K. And then second power forward is James Johnson. I like that a lot as well. 3.5K just opens up salary for you to spend up elsewhere. So yeah, that's really nice. That's my FanDuel core.
Okay. Let me hit build. Some comments. What do we have here? I think Trigger called someone, gave a compliment to another player somewhere here. Oh yeah, NATO is one of a kind. Chris obviously didn't watch NATO drop over 22 weeks ago, demolish the slate.
I mean, yeah, I watched it, but I don't know. I don't think it's sustainable. He played 32 minutes that game. Next game he started, he only played 22 minutes. So I do think that was like a one of a kind sort of thing. Yeah, so not too big of a fan.
Follow up from him, he's saying, Chetty lock, I'm praying for you if Sexton is in.
Trigger went from the Chetty guy to the Chetty hater.
Well, you gotta buy high and sell low.
I mean, we're still getting him pretty low on FanDuel, only 5.4K.
Sorry, I meant buy low, sell high. That's what you gotta do. Don't do the other way around.
Actually, Gary, I wanna unlock John Collins here. I think we can go elsewhere. I don't think John Collins at 6'8" is a lock.
Do we need another lock to replace him, or are we just sticking with 3?
Yeah, I want to add Luka Doncic as a lock. He's on our cover. I was talking him up a lot, so I love jamming in Luka whenever I can. I think we can today, so yeah.
Nice. Just another one of a kind performance from a one of a kind player.
Yes, sir.
Brandon's saying doesn't matter at all if Sexton is in. Chetty is a good play either way.
Yeah, Chetty at 5'4". I like Chetty at 5'4" a lot. So even if Sexton is in, I like that.
Okay, so here it is. We have our locks here: Luka, Beal, Chetty, James Johnson, and then this is what we get from that. What do you make of these ones, Chris? It's kind of tight, actually. The top one's 317.
Yeah. So the reason I unlocked John Collins was to get this LMA lineup. I really like it. It's currently what I'm looking at with Buddy Hield. So if you want to favorite that one, you can do that, and then we can compare it to. I also like the fourth one with Chris Middleton. Actually, sorry, the seventh one, because I like Buddy Hield over Devontae Graham. And then let's also favorite the. Let's see. Let's favorite the second one with Buddy Hield and Reddish. I don't mind that one either. And then we can go over them in the saved lineups tab.
Some questions. Why does the Opto like Reddish over Hunter? Luka a lock from Hasty.
So the reason is because of salary. What do we have? We have Reddish at what, 4.1k. Hunter is probably 6.1k. So Hunter has had those big games before, so he got priced up. Reddish is still 4-1. So yeah, that's why.
Yep.
What about Clement says? What about DeAndre Hunter for GBP? I mean, I think you're overspending a bit. I don't see a ceiling there, just with Trey handling the ball so much. So I don't know. Like, if you want to, I don't mind it, but probably not something I would do.
Yep. Okay, let's go over the saved lineups here. What are you thinking between these three, Chris? What do you see? What do you like? What don't you like?
So let's see here. Point guard. So we're going with Luka, obviously a lock, and then spending down at the second point guard with Ish. I think I'm good with either of these guys, Ish or Burke. And then obviously we have Beal locked. I like Healed a lot, so that price tag is nice at 5.2. Then we have Chetty locked at small forward, and then we have three different small forwards between the three lineups. I'll touch on that later when we go through the differences. And then at power forward, John Collins in two of them, and then LMA in one of them. Don't mind either here. I think we're paying a really good price for LMA, 6.4k against the Timberwolves. That stands out for me. I don't think he's going to hurt you at that price. I think he can give you a ceiling game just because he has the upside to shoot up to 20 times. So I don't mind that. James Johnson, obviously a lock for me. And then we get Drummond and Nurkic at center. With Nurkic, he's in the highest total game, 6.2k. I don't mind that. The thing with him this year has always been minutes. If he gets minutes, he smashes. So don't mind him. Drummond 9.2. I don't mind paying that price tag either. He fits the Fanduel scoring with 3 points for a block and steal. Yeah, so I guess we can just go over the differences here now between them. So let's see. In the first one, we have Burke, Reddish, Collins, Drummond.
I think it's this.
Yeah, and then Collins as well, just because we're comparing all three of them.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, so while you do that, I can just talk about them. So we have Burke, Reddish, Collins, Drummond versus Smith, Middleton, Collins, Nurkic. I guess we can just compare the first two to start with, and then after that we can compare my favorite to the third one. So yeah, with this 4 or 3v3, sorry, I definitely like the second side here. We get the upside with Middleton if Giannis is out. He was added to the injury report late, so now he's questionable. So I like paying 7.4 for Middleton. You get the upside if Giannis is out. Then he's like way underpriced. He'll probably project for around 40, 42. So I like that. Ish 3.8k. I like that as well. Obviously no Westbrook. He should see at least 24 minutes. So I do like that. And then Nurkic, I don't mind spending for him. Only 6.2, so we're getting a little bit of a discount. So yeah, I definitely like this second team more than the first. And then with the second versus the third, what are the differences here? We have Middleton, Collins, Nurkic versus Hachimura, Aldridge, Drummond. So Rui, Hachimura, 4.8k. I really like that price tag. No Westbrook helps him as well. So I think this team here I like it more. Obviously, if Giannis were to be ruled out, then I would like the second team with Middleton more. But I think for now, I really like the second team. You get Drummond at center, 9.2. That's a nice price tag for him. And then you get LMA. Don't mind paying 6.4 for him. So yeah, this third team is my favorite as of now.
Okay, before we jump into DraftKings, YouTube comments, Billy Brisbane's asking, Dante DiVincenzo cash viable tonight with no Giannis? If there's no Giannis, is he?
So the thing is, we just have to wait and see if Giannis is playing. If Giannis is out, then yeah, I like Dante a lot. He's 4.5k on FanDuel, so that price tag works for me. A little more at 5.1 at DraftKings, so don't necessarily love that, but the price tag on FanDuel really fits if Giannis were to be out.
Okay. Hasty saying Nova boys from that era always show up.
who's the Nova boy from that era? DiVincenzo?
Hasty, you got to
Yeah, I
tell
think
us who's the Nova boy here. Who they are.
it is DiVincenzo, but why did he say from that era? Like, usually when you say from that era, it implies you're talking about like an older guy. I guess that Villanova team was nice with DiVincenzo.
It was nice. Trigger saying Old Man Aldridge in a good spot tonight, and Hasty says Rui at that price is gold.
Yep.
Dante. Rams 13-3 Seahawks. What do you think of that, Chris? Are you still sweating any of the slates you've played today? How are they going?
I don't know. I haven't checked on NFL. We still have a few more games, so it's too early. Yeah, so Rams 13-3 over the Seahawks. I want to see if Thomas is still in here. We had a nice friendly wager on that game. I got the Rams. I think it was -3.5, so it's looking good for me now.
He's got to pay up tonight. Seahawks
Yep.
costing Trigger some money. Hate to see that, but it is what it is. Goss to be saying pick 6 Rams. Ouch, from Hasty. Okay, let's go over any other questions. I think that's it for now. If you guys have more questions, just type them in chat. We'll go through them as we do the locks, core plays after them. We're doing the core plays first, then we're doing the favorite lock of the day on both sites, favorite GPP play, and then favorite fade on both sides. So we'll do that after we finish the core play and talk about the construction here. So obviously, I think Beal is your first lock on Draftkings. You always ask me to guess your first lock. Who's your second lock, Chris?
Second lock is Rui Hachimura. He's 4.5 on DraftKings, so in even better price than Fanduel. No Westbrook helps him. More shots for him. Probably more rebounds as well, just because Russ always hunts rebounds. So yeah, I like that price tag a lot. We can also go with Luka, same as Fanduel. He's on our cover today, 11K. It's pretty easy to get today, just with all the other Mavs value that we have. So I like that a lot. Next up, we got Trey Burke. Minimum price, just way too cheap for Jay Rich, Finney Smith, and Brunson being out. Should absolutely smash. Should be chalk, so you're not getting too big of an edge over the field with that one. And then last up, James Johnson, 3.2K. Another Mav. You can sort of see with these core locks that we're mainly targeting guys from this Mavericks and Wizards game, just because they have the injuries, they have players out, they're priced nicely, so that's why. And yeah, these are my 5 locks for cash games.
Oh, I'll hit build for that. In the YouTube, Mike Weaver saying Russ looks like ass.
Is that a bad thing?
I'm just the messenger. How many minutes for James Johnson from Trigger? I guess you want to touch up on the Russ comment there before.
Not really, but for James Johnson, I mentioned it when we went over that game. Like, I could see him playing 24. I could see him playing 28. I could also see him playing 20. I don't mind it for how cheap he is, even if he only gets 20 minutes. Like, he always seems to produce in the minutes that he's out there. Yep. Always been a strong fantasy point per minute guy. So even if he plays 18 to 20 minutes, I don't mind it for the price tag, especially in cash games.
Okay. So before we do the lineups, I'll just repeat the core locks on DraftKings right now. We have Doncic, Beal, Hachimura, James Johnson, and Trey Burke. We do actually, I'll also say this, we do actually update that throughout the slate as news comes out after the show. We just do that in the Discord. So that's another thing you get if you're a member. So be sure to check us out at dfscrunch.com. 3-day free trial. If you're not a member already, try it out. It's $25 a week, $75 a month. Lots of value, all sports, good optimizer, lots of stuff here. So exciting place to be if you're into DFS. Trigger saying y'all forgot to lock in Whiteside.
Oh, yeah, I also forgot to mention him when I went over that game, but as I said when he first said that Whiteside is in a good spot today, his minutes have been 0 in the last 2 games. He played against Golden State. That was because Holmes got into foul trouble, and then Begley also got into foul trouble. But I mean, revenge game, as I mentioned earlier, so it's fine for me. You're gonna get him at probably 0.5% owned. Yeah, he has upside, as we all know, Hassan Whiteside, but I don't know. I'm not too big I'm not too high on him.
Yep. Clement's saying James gets less minutes.
James who? James Johnson?
Yeah, guessing James Johnson.
I mean, so he's been seeing like somewhere between 12 and 20. Dorian Finney-Smith is out. Josh Richardson is out. Jalen Brunson is out. So I think it's safe to project him for at least 18 to 20, but I do think he has upside for more.
Yeah, Trigger's saying Coach of the Year said he wants to get him more involved. Whiteside, I'm guessing. Drummond or Stein?
I mean, it depends on your construction. Like, it's obviously not a 1-for-1. If you could let me know what site that is, what format, that would help a lot.
Yep. But yeah, I think Drummond is more of a priority for us, right? Over on Fanduel at least. And Draftkings as well. Okay, so what do you see here, Chris? What do you like? Touchdown
so
Seattle.
I like this first team. I like this third team. Yeah, let's roll with those two and then compare them.
First and third?
Yep. Touchdown Seattle from Mike Weaver. Who scored? Was it Carson? Oh, it was a throwing touchdown to Metcalf for 51. Wow.
Nice.
Wow. I have a lot of Metcalf today actually, so that's pretty nice.
So you don't have to sweat it as much anymore?
Yeah, he was like 6'9" on FanDuel. We usually pay like mid-8s for him.
Buy low. Okay, what do you think of these two, Chris? What do you see here? What do you like? What don't you like? You like it all, but what do you see between them?
What's the difference between them? Obviously, Doncic, he's a lock. Beal is a lock. Hardaway. I like Hardaway 5.9K. As we mentioned with all those guys out, like, I don't mind him there as a last piece. Hachimura, obviously a lock. Drummond, I don't think we locked him, but he's nearly a lock for me. 8.7K, pretty easy to get today, so I like that a lot. Trey Burke, both teams, obviously he's a lock as well. Luka, lock. James Johnson, lock. So what's the difference?
Ish and Cauley Stein, I think.
Yeah, so I mean, I would just probably go with Ish Smith here. No Westbrook. He'll probably get a bigger bump than Cauley Stein. Safer route to like 24 minutes for Ish. So yeah, I like Ish here for sure.
Okay. Is that all there is to say about these two? Easier decisions here. Okay. Yeah, Trigger saying buy low, baby. Unlike Chetty. Trigger doesn't want to get caught buying Chetty high. That's the thing. Like.
Well, I think Trigger is a DraftKings player. Chetty's like 6'4" or 6'2" there, so that's definitely way too expensive. But you gotta on FanDuel, he's only 5'4", so
yeah,
you gotta understand why I'm pretty high on him.
Okay, if I think Clement's still here, he wanted to go over how to do the multi-entry exports. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, should I just load up DraftKings and FanDuel, Chris?
Just go to FanDuel, I guess. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Same concept on both. I'll just show you like what you do. Like you just on DraftKings, first step is you have to download your CSV entry file from either DraftKings or FanDuel, because that's the file that you need to put into DFS Crunch. So we know. Sorry, that's the file that you need to have that file, because that's the file that has all your contests. So you need to upload your lineups into that. So on DraftKings, you go to the lineups section here. You go to upcoming. You can see all this, right, Chris? It's not blocked off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you go edit entries over here. You pick your sport over here. You pick this slate style. If there's a slate that's not showing up, you click that. Then you hit download. And that's that. Then you have your file on your computer. So you open that file up, and then so open that file up. That's what you do. On DraftKings, on FanDuel, similar thing. You just go to upcoming. You find the slate you're playing. You hit the CSV edit button here, and then you wait for this to load. And then you click download a CSV template. Download that. Open that up. So that's step one. Both sides, same concept. Step two is You do all your edits here in the optimizer, whatever you want to do. You do that, you build them. We already have some built here. So we have 20 lineups here. You do that, then at the bottom
My
right...
camera's blocking it.
Pardon?
My camera's blocking it.
Yep. This button is just because it's you don't have that there, but that's because this is the preview version. But you have this button here. You click Export Lineups. You do that, then that downloads another CSV file. You open that one up as well. The file that you download from our site, that file just has all of your lineups that you generated that you see on this page. That file does not have your contest entry data. So what you have to do is you have to open up the file you got from our site, then open up the file you got from Fanduel. What you do then is you copy and paste all of the lineups from the file that you downloaded from our site, and you paste that into the file that you downloaded from Fanduel or Draftkings. It's pretty straightforward.
And then obviously you upload the file that, like the template file that you downloaded from Fanduel and Draftkings, back into each respective site.
Exactly.
Just on Draftkings, you have the upload button right there.
Yeah. So since
Fanduel,
the file you downloaded from Draftkings or Fanduel, that's the file that has your entry data. That's the file you have to upload back to Draftkings. Because if you try to upload, I think a lot of people get this confused. They just try to upload the file they download from our site, and it doesn't work. And the reason it doesn't work is because Draftkings and Fanduel, they don't know which contests you want those lineups to apply to. So that's why you have to copy the lineups from the file you download from our site yourself, and then paste them into the Draftkings or Fanduel file. And then that's the file you'll upload there, because that file will have your lineups that you got from our site, and then it'll have your contest entry data there as well. So over here, you just do that, click upload, find the file on your computer, then that's it, it's uploaded, done. Draftkings, Fanduel, same thing, you find the file on your computer, do that, hit this button, turns green after you upload the file, and then all your lineups are updated. Pretty straightforward. If you have more questions, I can help you out on Discord today, but that's how you do it. It's really straightforward.
we got a question from Christian. He says, any thoughts on Jakob Poeltl versus Minnesota on Fanduel? I just have no interest with LMA playing. Like, Poeltl's probably going to get you 15 minutes maximum, maybe 18 minutes. We usually have a lot of interest when LMA is out, but Poeltl hasn't looked great this year. So you can take some shots in tournaments, but it's not something that I'll be doing today. So I'd probably say no interest in Poeltl.
Okay. What else is there? Okay. Do you want to go over your favorite play of the day, Chris?
Yeah, let's do it.
On Fanduel, who's your favorite play of the day?
So I'll go with Luka. I think it's either Luka or Beal. If I could put both, I would. But yeah, they're just in smash spots. So they're my favorite play of the day in both formats.
Wait, you gotta pick one, no?
I'll go with Beal.
There we go. Okay, who is your on Fanduel? Who's your fade of the day?
My fade of the day would probably be, let's see. I'll say Chetty Osman.
This is for GPP.
Just because, yeah, so this is for GPP. I think Osman will be pretty popular on Fanduel, so I don't mind fading him over there. If Sexton is in, especially, you have some downside with that. Usually my fade of the day is a guy I expect to be high owned, and someone obviously who I would fade. So yeah, it's Osman.
Okay, Trigger. Yeah, I knew Trigger would say that. Good call. He loves that. Okay, who is your GPP play of the day today?
This is for Fanduel, yeah. So it's Chris Middleton, 7.4K. You get the upside if Giannis sits. I would probably assume that he sits just because he got the midday downgrade to questionable. Usually that's a bad sign. Usually that means they will sit. So I like Middleton a lot. If you're playing Middleton, you can set up a group where you also play Drew in the same lineup. Just because I think that, like I said, I think Giannis will sit. So yeah, I'm Middleton, and then Drew would be a close second to that.
Okay. Let's do Draftkings. Who is your favorite play of the day, lock of the day? Before you answer, TJ McConnell is out today.
Doesn't really matter.
Okay, just bringing it up. So who's your pick of the day on DraftKings?
So same as Fanduel, let's just go with Brad Beal. 9.7K, easy play in both formats. Going to be chalk for a reason. So yeah.
Okay, and then who is your fade of the day on DraftKings? GPP fade of the day.
Fade of the day. Let's go with Andre Drummond, another Cav. I went with Chetty on Fanduel, Drummond on DK. Yeah, so just like I could see routes to him getting into quick foul trouble and not paying off that price tag, but he's obviously going to be in my cash game lineups. So yeah, I think you can leverage his ownership against him by fading him.
All right, and then who's your favorite GPP play of the day over on DraftKings?
I'll go with DeJounte Murray. He's 6.9K. Just really good matchup here against the Timberwolves. They're implied for 120 points. He's probably not going to get too much ownership. I like pivoting off of DeRozan to Murray, so you also get that. Derek White is out, so I like DeJounte Murray a lot.
Okay, we have a question from Hasty about your fade on Drummond. He's asking, who would you fade Drummond for? Like, what are the other options there if you're fading Drummond?
Well, the thing you get if you fade Drummond is it changes up your roster construction completely. So you won't be spending up at center anymore. So it's not just like a direct pivot to someone else. Like your whole lineup construction will be different. That's also a big reason why I said fade Drummond. And then one other guy I actually want to touch on for DraftKings tournaments is Jimmy Butler. I think Jimmy Butler is also probably a really good play in tournaments. He would be a part of my core if I had a GPP core, but yeah, I think his ownership will probably go down now, just because we got Beal, we got Wizards value, we have a bunch of Mavs that we're spending down for. So yeah, I like Jimmy Butler in tournaments as well.
All right. Hasty understands, says thanks. Trigger saying yeah, spend down changes up your construction, as you said. Anything else you want to touch on, Chris, before we wrap it up?
No, I mean, hopefully we keep on crushing here. We've had a good day so far. Yeah, hopefully we keep it going. Hopefully everyone else keeps it going as well.
Yep, easier to do that if you have access to dfscrunch.com. I'll do one last plug and some housekeeping. First thing, like the video if you haven't already. That helps us out a lot with people finding our channel. Other thing, for your own sake, subscribe, hit the bell button, press all so you can stay notified when we do this show. It's each and every day, 2.5 hours before main slate. About the tool optimizer, that's what we use throughout the show, dfscrunch.com. The projections you see there also from there. So you can go there, try it out. We have a 3-day free trial. It's $25 a week, $75 a month. You get access to everything you saw today. There's a bunch of other sports as well. You also get access to the Discord. Lots of value there. Lots of stuff to do. It's a good place to do part-time DFS, full-time results. Yeah, with that said, good luck today. We'll see you guys in the Discord. We'll be updating the projections throughout leading up to the lock. Yeah, I think we'll probably drop a new core if there's anything like that as well. We always do that. So good luck today. We'll see you guys tomorrow, and thanks for tuning in.